morning. Welcome to this March 4th Board of Commissioners meeting. First item is public comment. Do I have anyone here for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will get right into our presenters. We have Stephen Ray, and for the NCIRPC update.
Good morning.
Good morning. You need one, or you want me to just pass it? Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Stephen Ratton with the North Central Indiana Regional Planning Council. Appreciate y'all giving me a few moments of your time just to give you a quick update on our successes last year and give you an idea of where we're going for 2025. Passed out a dashboard. This is the information that we present to our board on a quarterly basis. Top left-hand corner there, you can see we just celebrated our 10th anniversary last October. So over the past 10 years, almost $25 million in grant funding has come back to the region as a whole. And that's our normal day-to-day operations. That doesn't take in the Ready 1 or the Ready 2 programs, which we'll get into in a minute. The top right graph shows how the funds are broke out across the 6 counties. The bottom left corner, I think this is kind of the meat and potatoes of this particular document. We've worked on 150 projects in the first 10 years. Our return on investment is over $14. So for every dollar that we've received from our cities and counties over the past 10 years, we've returned $14.50. And then the return per capita is $11. The contribution per capita is 77 cents. So a significant return back to our communities. Bottom right-hand corner is Ready 1. Ready 1 was a $30 million grant award to the North Central Indiana Regional Planning Council. And we identified as a region ballpark about 22 projects to divvy up those funds. Just had a conversation with IEDC last week. We've expended 72% of that $30 million. Of the 16 or so Ready 1 regions, we're safely in the top 5 in terms of performance and expenditures. So we're doing really well with the Ready 1. You can see the projects that are receiving Ready 1 investments here in Clinton County. Ready 2 was a $35 million award. The state last year put a requirement of 65% expenditure rate on Ready 1 before Ready 2 funds could be available for draw. Here we are in the 1st of March. We're gonna see a slight delay in Ready 2 funding hit the streets. They want to make sure that the Ready 1 dollars are getting out the door with the new administration, new change in leadership at IEDC. They're taking their time and getting their feet under them and arms around them in terms of how and when they're going to release Ready 2. So more to come on Ready 2. Any questions?
Your pie graph, top right corner, county funding, is that contributions per county in the region over that time period?
That is not contributions, that's grant awards.
Awarded?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So out the door? not
Yes.
In the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Gentlemen?
Good, thank you.
Nope. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate the update.
Yeah, appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Next, we have Surveyor Dan Sheets here for the Frankfurt Fire Station 4 right-of-way, and I believe he's accompanied by RQAW. Good morning.
Morning. Morning, gentlemen. As you're aware, Frankfort Fire Department is wanting to build a new station out at State Road 28 and 600 West, part of the annexation, their annexation of the I-65 28 corridor. And we're here today to ask permission for the installation of a 930-foot section of RCP pipe to be installed in the county road right-of-way. I have the necessary documents over here awaiting your signature, and at this time, to elaborate on the project, I'll introduce Mr. Nick Burgum of RQAW.
Hello, as he said, my name's Nick Bergman. I'm with RQAW DCC. I am the civil engineer, or one of the civil engineers on this project. My primary responsibility was to do the stormwater design. In order to get a positive outfall, we had to route the pipe through the county right-of-way to get to a creek. It was just the way that the topography worked out. So I'm here to request permission to actually install this storm pipe inside of the county right-of-way.
What size?
It's a 12-inch diameter RCP.
Okay. And then will we take ownership? Will it be a county regulated drain after installation?
Yes, at our next meeting following this one, the drainage board will meet, at which point we will ask the drainage board to take that as a legal drain in the Lick Run watershed.
Okay.
And I would also ask that the board waive the encroachment fees for this permit due to the fact that it will become a legal drain.
I know we had some conversation about upsizing it. Are you comfortable with the 12-inch, or would you rather see it larger?
I'm comfortable with the 12-inch. Any projects that develop there on either side of the road will have direct access to the creek, and so they can put their water directly into the creek that way.
Okay.
And we
Question?
have also, during a discussion that we had about a farm access, that is indeed included as well.
Is it? Okay. All right.
We are currently updating our plans to include the driveway, or building fence.
And also, just to make sure that while it's being installed, there's always an entrance, especially if it's done in the spring or fall, right? So that they have
okay,
access.
Yeah, we can add
Okay.
notes that entrance must always be present.
Okay. All right. Any
I'm good.
questions?
Thanks.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the usage of the county right-of-way for the installation of the storm drain for Frankfort Fire Station 4
Well, that also includes waiving the fees.
and waiving the
And the
fees?
waiving
Yes.
fee.
I'll move that.
Okay, I'll second that.
All right, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Approved.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks, Dan. So I got a quick signature, then I'll make copies for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Dee Nicely with the Purdue Extension Contractual Agreement. Good morning, Dee.
Good morning. Thanks for having us today. We would like to request your signature on our 2025 contractual services agreement with Purdue Extension.
Okay, I may run through a couple things if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
So this is a new agreement, and I will say, it's really the only one in the state like this. So there's a standard contract that, is it all 92 counties participate? So all 92 counties. Clinton County now will have a little addendum in ours that's specific to us. So what we noticed had happened, just to let everyone know, is we contractually are obligated to pay them a amount every year. And essentially that covers a portion of the salaries of the staff. And we went a time period where some of those positions went unfilled for a lengthy period of time. And so we worked with them to put something in place where after 6 months, 80% of that fee for that select salary will now come back to the county. It'll be kept separate and it'll be utilized for extension services for the future. So if they need to do repairs to the building, other projects, rather than coming back to the county or using budgeted funds, they'll kind of have their own rainy day fund that will accumulate for their department. So now we're getting the value in the service, but if the service is not always there because there's not staffing, that funding is going to come back to Clinton County going forward. So that was the major change. We kind of have been working on this for 2 years, and finally we're able to get an agreement going forward. So that is the change, and like I said, it's the only one in the state set up this way. The second part of that is this is more of just kind of mentioning that they may be going through some other contractual changes here in the near future, but we may become one of the pilot programs for that as well. So we'll kind of see how that all plays out over the next year, but this is the new agreement for 25 with the updated language. Any questions for
Have
you
none.
guys? No. Okay.
Motion to have the president sign the contract as
Second.
presented.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0, and we will get this signed for you guys.
Thank you, we
All right.
appreciate it.
Thank
One
you.
more thing I wanted to add today, I want to introduce your new County Extension Director, Amy Webster. I will be as a consulting alongside. Amy will be taking the position, or Amy will be the position, but I will be there to help along the way as well. I
Okay.
just want to introduce you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Look forward to working with you all. And we'll probably next month come back and give you our recap of '24 and kind of what our first quarter, what we've accomplished and what's kind of on the plan for us. So we'll do that with our annual meeting is at the 1st of April. So we'll kind of give you guys the update of where we've been working at.
What day is your annual meeting?
The
April
3rd?
3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Time?
30.
Okay. All right.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have opening of Bridge 60 bids, so I'll turn it over to Tom. Do we have one bid?
Just one bid.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be from Civil Coatings and Construction Incorporated. All right, it looks like a total of $681,000, $681,658.50. So $681,658.50 for a total.
Okay. Have a motion to take that under advisement. We'll have it be reviewed
Yeah, at least review
before
the
we, and then make
Yeah.
a decision.
I'll
Not a
make
lot
that.
of decision, but decision now.
Second.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0 to take that under advisement. Next, we have Rick Campbell with a highway update. Morning, Rick.
I have the title sheet for Bridge 21. Needs to be signed by all three commissioners. Bridge 21 is on 750 north in between 500 west and 600 west.
Okay.
The guys are just, we're patching roads right now, and we're getting out on the gravel roads, getting them graded and getting a little stone put on them. So that's about all we're doing right now is patching, and that's it.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Thanks, Rick.
So we need a motion to sign the Bridge 21 structural sheet.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 for it. I'll put it to
Yeah.
a pile. Next, we have Liz Stitzel with area plan update. Morning.
I don't have a whole lot this morning. I did send you guys an email regards something I'll bring up next commissioners meeting on an unsafe structure that those of you that have been here longer probably recognize. But if you have any questions about that or need a reminder on the details of that situation out on the east side of the county, feel free to reach out to me before next meeting. But as you would have seen, we sent a letter to that owner informing them it would be brought up so they have an opportunity to attend should they desire to.
Okay.
Otherwise, obviously, we're not to grass yet. And everything else is kind of in between leans with you guys.
Very good.
Good.
What questions?
No questions.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, old business. We have our mowing contract for area plan to be utilized for 2025. It's to continue with Platinum Landscaping, who has been the contractor for the last 2 years, I believe. This will be the third year. So do I have a motion to approve Platinum Landscaping contract for mowing services for 2025?
I'll make that motion to approve Platinum Lands for.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that. Next, we have the Paul Philippi pass-through agreement. I see Don is here. Do you want to walk us through that? And then also the addition, which looks like just a notice of de-obligation of funds.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good.
So the pass-through agreement is typically what we do every year when we do our grant cycle process. This year, we actually got notified by the state that they're looking at letting individual transportation agencies become their own entity, like of themselves, so we wouldn't have to have a county or a city government to go through in the future. We kind of opted this year. I think I had emailed Jordan and Bert about the email that was forwarded from the state. In light of us taking on Tipton County this year, I think it would be a really good idea for us to just continue with the agreement that we have with you guys this year, just to kind of get our feet wet with bringing on a new system. And then probably in the future, what we'll do is look at like maybe becoming that pass-through agent ourselves in the future. We're actually looking to include Montgomery County in our grant cycle this year as well. So they're really moving forward in this regionalization type of system for public transit throughout the whole state of Indiana. So I think that's why they're going this way. We'll still need city and county support, like for local match and stuff like that, but that kind of the direction that they're moving. So if you guys are okay with us continuing with you being our pass-through agent, we'd appreciate that, just to help us with compliance and everything.
Yeah, very good.
And then the de-obligation is just showing where we spent all of our funds in 2023 and 2024.
Okay, very good. Any questions?
No.
Comments?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll do motion to approve the pass-through agreement
And-
first.
Yes.
A second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that, and then we'll just do a motion to sign the de-obligation, which showed all the funds of the care funds in 23-24
For
were
this.
spent.
Yes. Motion to approve that.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that as well. Okay, we'll move on to new business. First item is city-county HIP interlocal agreement. So I'll run through this real quickly. PIP is Partners in Progress, for those that don't know. It was originally set up as kind of the economic development arm of the county and the city back in the mid-'80s. And it's been kind of a board that has been around since then and needed some restructuring. And so one of the things that came out of this restructuring was that the funding for all of PIP's budget had been done by the county for probably the last 20 years, roughly. Somewhere in the mid-'90s was when the 2000, it was at 2000, is when it changed. So now, with the annexation taking place out 28 and 65, the city is going to participate in half of that. So the county will pay half of the economic development budget, and then the city will pay half of the economic development budget for PIP. And so this interlocal is establishing that, so we have it in paper, and it's not just behind closed doors and handshakes and that. So any questions or comments on it? Okay. Roughly, the budget's $200,000 a year, so county portion will now be $100,000, city portion will be $100,000, give or take. So, do I have a motion to approve the interlocal with the city for the PIP agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that. All right, our next item is to approve our bonds But we still have a couple things that need to be ironed out on that. So I would ask the board if we could get a motion to table it. Hopefully those will be worked out by our next meeting and we can move forward with approving those.
Motion to approve the extension of our bond approval.
Second.
All right. Motion carries 3-0 to table that. Hopefully we'll have it all worked out by the 18th. Department heads. Do you have any department heads that would like to go? Here, arm wrestle.
The old person go first. Okay, just real quick. We hired a new juvenile probation officer who happened to be our part-time admin, who is more than qualified, so we'll have our first bilingual juvenile probation officer, or probation officer. So now I need to replace our part-time admin person.
Okay.
So I need permission for that.
No changes to the job description or anything?
No.
Okay. Then we can do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second.
All right.
Okay, that's
Motion
all I
to,
got.
yep, you can
Thank-
post for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, Renee.
Good morning. I just thought probably for transparency, after our last meeting and discussing the issues we had in our equipment room with the condenser unit, so just for everybody to know, so that day and during the meeting, I brought up to the commissioners, I'd received quotes, one to replace and one for repairs. We were going to discuss it at today's meeting, and I think it was later that afternoon, we immediately, our unit was froze up, we had issues, and so I was communicating back and forth with Bert and all three commissioners, and so the decision was made because over the last 2 years, we are continuing to have more and more problems. It's becoming more frequent, and the quote to just repair was like $8,100, and there was no guarantee that it was going to last a week or a few months. And so we I got a consensus from all three commissioners that we would go ahead and replace that unit, which is on the roof, for the amount of $31,191.27. And then we were trying to figure out, like, how are we going to fund that? And so I was emailing back and forth with Jordan and Alan. And because we still have the 3 dispatcher positions open that we have not filled yet, so I will have that money in our budget. And so I have submitted a transfer to the auditor's office, which obviously will take council approval. But that way, we didn't have to try and figure out where we're going to come up with $31,000. So I do have that available. So we have done that. QPH has ordered the item and the condenser unit. And I did talk to Damien, the maintenance, because they will have to bring in a crane, QPH will, to put the unit on the roof. So thank you for helping. It was not obviously anything we were anticipating. You know, you never know, but it's lasted us for all of these, 15 years basically. So it was important to get this taken care of because that, we can't have heat in the equipment room. There's too much in there.
Understand. Yep.
Yes, yes. So, one other unit thing I wanted to bring up. Sunday night, I received a ticket notification from IPSC through Motorola. So in there's multiple equipment rooms throughout the sheriff's office. So there is one that is behind the gun range that has all of our radio infrastructure that connects everybody to the state, as well as that is the DMARC, where every single phone line that comes into the building, like everything is back in this room. IPSC, because they own that equipment, the radio equipment that's back in that room, they monitor that. Well, there was an issue. And so they contacted Motorola, who sent a technician out yesterday, and they found water had been leaking in that room, and so it saturated the punch block there in that room and caused an issue with the UPS unit for the infrastructure with the radio system. So they were able to dry it out, luckily. I've spoke to Damien, and so he's gonna go in there and take a look. They kind of tried to cover some of that up with like just plastic trash bags to keep water off, but again, you all know, like it's never ending, but I did want to bring that up to you guys, again, water over the equipment room, another equipment room and having issues. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. So, but like I said, Motorola was able to dry it out and that was okay. And Damien's going to look into that.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Let us know.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. So it's just, one of those, one of those things that as things get older, it's going to happen. So, see, next week is Severe Preparedness Week, Severe Weather Preparedness Week. And on Tuesday, we will do a full activation of the tornado sirens at approximately 10:15 in conjunction with the statewide tornado siren testing. So we will do that. A few years ago, they stopped doing the 2 tests. Used to, they would do morning and an evening. It's just the morning now. So, but we will have a full activation of the tornado sirens, which lasts usually 5 minutes for a full activation. So we will have that. And I think other than that, I don't have anything else unless you have something for me.
Do not. Thank you for the
Nice job.
update.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Renee.
Yep, thanks.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning. So follow-up from the last commissioner meeting in terms of our rate analysis and recommendations. I'm not sure if you guys have given any additional thought to whether going up to the 300% or the 400%. I'll just offer a little additional context. So where we're at right now is below market value, what we're charging as a standard, below what competitors in our area are charging. If you look at a news article from Channel 13 a couple years ago, IU Health charged $2,925 for a non-emergency BLS transfer to a rehab facility. Even at the 400% increase, it'd be $1,086 for us. And so we're trying to collect as much as we can from private insurance to optimize our return on revenue. And so whether you go with the 300 or 400%, I think either is an appropriate option for our community and our service. So,
Yep. And just walk people through that, because that's to the private insurance,
Yes.
not to the local constituent individual. Yeah.
yes. So what we're trying to do based on new legislation that took effect January 1 is optimize what our return on reimbursables is from the private insurance companies. And so we're allowed to go up to a maximum of 400% of the Medicare value. And so based on that, like our ALS emergency, so a 911 call that, it's our standard call that we take. We start an IV, we give 1 or 2 medications, some IV fluids, cardiac monitoring. That base charge would be $2,064.60, not including miles. That's the 400%. Versus the 300% would be $1,548. So currently, our current charge is $775. And so we're barely capturing what we could be with private insurance. So obviously I'll go with whatever your recommendation is, but I think 300 or 400% is where we need to be in between those two.
Okay. Let's just put it on our agenda for next meeting.
Discussion.
And we'll make a decision at that point.
Okay.
We'll put it as an agenda item under old business here.
Understood.
So
Okay.
go from there.
And then in terms of the ambulance, in which there was the falsification of services and misrepresentation of what services were being rendered, that truck has made 0 progress. While he offered to put a new long block in it, he said what he would do is put all attachments on it as well. He is now more or less giving the runaround of, well, I need it to be specific on what comes with a new engine, a new box versus a long block. Like, you charged us for a new engine, so that's what we need. And he's kind of giving us the runaround. He's not responding to my calls at this time. So I don't know if you want to tow it off his lot and take it to a new mechanic, or if we want to give him a deadline for the next commissioner meeting for him to finish the repairs before we go to court. So not sure what your pleasure is.
Well, I'd say we'll give him a deadline.
Okay.
Get us his contact info. Give him a call. See if
Either
that.
call or have Mr. Little write a letter.
See if that speeds it up a little bit, rather than, then we can always push a little further at that point. So, we'll do that.
Okay.
So, get-
My concern is the track record. He lied once already. My concern is he's going to keep lying to get out of this, and we need that truck back.
Yeah, let's push a little bit more and then we'll see.
Okay, so do you want the deadline of March 18th?
We'll probably do it the 18th, yeah.
Okay, I will let him know.
All right. Get us his number though.
Will do.
All right.
And then on a very positive note, Megan here just finished her capstone for paramedic school, so 15 months through, just wrapping up. She's going to go sit for the National Registry. We have no doubt she's going to pass. And as long as you guys approve it, we'll change her job description from EMT to paramedic, and then we'll need to fill an EMT position. So,
Awesome, fantastic,
Congratulations.
congratulations, and good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, move on. Commissioner reports.
I have none.
I
Commissioner.
have none, sir.
Okay, I just have one. As we had talked about here over the last probably month and a half, we advertised for the HR director position. We had 50-plus applications. We had a candidate pool that we interviewed that was really strong. It was a difficult decision to make, but we did end up making a decision. And so we have, many of you will be familiar because she's here internally and has worked on this on a daily basis over time. Cecily Reifert has been hired as our HR director, so she will take over starting next Monday, March 10th, in that position. We'll have a little transition, so she'll kind of continue to do some of the payroll work as well as the HR director until that position gets filled, but ultimately this will be her new position forward. So wanted to make that announcement today for everyone. So other than that, I don't have anything else. We'll move on to our,
Jordan, if you could, I apologize, I missed one.
okay, you do have one.
Yes, I do. We have been going through interviews with the Board of Health and trying to replace, as you know, the vacant position of one of the board members. And the Board of Health themselves have interviewed many people, and they came up with a suggestion. The suggestion was passed on to us. We've looked at it, and we've reached out to accept them. Chastely Smith, who is an RN, and she's come to a board meeting already and is looking forward to filling that board position on the Board of Health. So I would like to recommend that we approve that position.
So can we, you want to do it next? We have the paperwork we have to do for that one.
Okay.
So let's do the
Let's-
paperwork and we'll bring it on
That's
the
fine.
18th. We'll put it on the agenda. Maybe we can even invite her to come and then we can
That'd be
introduce her.
good.
That, all right? A good idea. Thank you.
So I'll make that motion.
Okay. Any, all right, motion carries 3-0. We'll put that on the agenda for next meeting and go from there.
Good.
So,
That's all I have.
okay. Circle back. Nothing, Kevin? Still? Okay.
Nothing.
All right. So moving on to claims, we have claims from February 21st in the amount of $39,182.14. Claims dated February 28th in the amount of $45,828.46. A biweekly claim from March 4th in the amount of $377,464.23. Court claim dated March 4th in the amount of $26,876.90, and a Board of Health claim dated February 7th in the amount of $856.68. Do I have a motion to approve claims?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on claims. Next, we have payroll from February 7th in the amount of $588,945.44. Motion.
Move to approve payroll.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 for payroll. We have minutes from our regular meeting on February 18th, as well as minutes from our executive session on February 27th. Do we have a motion to approve both minutes?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on the minutes. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, March 18th. Any other business to come before us this morning? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All right,
Second.
thank you.
Are you going over to Soil and Water?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just.
Okay. For a minute, I'm not probably staying, probably not staying the whole time. Well, I know I'm not staying the whole time. I got a 1 o'clock appointment, so I'll be there for about an hour.
Okay.
2 hours, I don't need to hear the talk.